G'day guys, I've just come down to Secret Creek again. Just going to have a look at some of this stuff. Looks pretty interesting. So this is all the inside bend. I worked up further up there a couple of weeks ago. Someone's done a hell of a lot of work there. Good on them. I'm not going there, I'm going along here. And just going to see what's under all this rubble. Yeah, so let's have a look.
Few minutes later.
Right, so I've gone and moved all the big rocks. Wasn't a hell of a lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape everything in this. I'm going to dig it all, process it, and see what we get out of it. But what I'm going to do first is just do one pan, see if there's anything in it, and if there is, I'm going to fill up some buckets, take them home and have some fun. All right, let's give it a go. Good mixture of stuff in here. Get your host rock. Here's some glass. And there's a little bit of quartz. So yeah. Now there's not much clay in this. At the moment it's just dirt and gravels. So I'm not expecting a hell of a lot. Nice, there's a little bit of gold in there. Just clean this up a bit. It's a nice piece too. It's only small. A little bit wiry. Yeah, just there. So I'm going to fill these buckets and take them home and see what I get. So yeah, I'm just clearing this little this bedrock crevice out, and this is where crevicing tool comes in handy. This is a Matt's crevicing tool. They're pretty good. You just get them in here and scratch this stuff out. The stuff you can't get with your shovel, because it can also be used as a little lever sometimes. Anyway, I'm gonna get this out and then clean this out into this crevice. Let me just show you. So clean that out, get all this stuff, and yeah, fill a bucket, a couple of buckets, and see what I get. Hopefully there's something. See you soon. So I'm actually going to check this one because I've cleaned the bedrock off. I just want to see what's in the pan, and then I'll continue with that other bedrock crevice. It's not a little crevice, it's just a bedrock riffle. I'll give you a look. So yeah, so that's the little spot I was working on just now. Nice and clean, and a bit wobbly, nice and clean. And then there's a whole bunch of gravels in there. So, and up there, I'm gonna collect them all into a bucket, take them home and see what I've got. All right, we'll see what's in this pan first. I was actually thinking on the way in today, like how hard it must have been for these guys, the old timers, to walk over all these hills. If you know where I am, it's a pretty hilly area. And I'm thinking, here I am driving in my four-wheel drive, and I'm complaining that it's too far away, which is 25 minutes. I'm thinking, it's really not that far away. These guys, they would spend days walking out here. But you know what? They were doing that with the best equipment they could at the time. And that's what we're doing now. So don't feel too bad if you think you're doing it easier than the old timers, because they would have used a four-wheel drive as well. But anyway, each to their own. Let's see what's in this pan. There's a couple of pieces of gold in there, nothing major, nothing big. They're actually stuck to the riffle. And a bit of lead. Oh yeah, I mean, bit of lead shot. Oh. Clean this up a bit more. Try and show you. So yeah, that was just a bait pump. That's half full of gravels. So now I'm going to try the rest of this shit. Scoop it all down into here. There's some more there, but I've only got a couple of hours out today. Might get that another time. Yeah, I'll get all that down and fill a bucket and see what we got. Cheers. Big years. So scraped all that back, cleaned it all up, washed it off, got it down to here, bait pumped it, and that was what was at the bottom. So finger for reference. Not some bad little gold. They're only flakes, they're not pickers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 visible pieces. Maybe 2 or 3 micros. One there. There's one there. Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna clean all that up in there and see what else I get. Depending on the time, that is. I have to check the time. Yeah, I've got about another hour. Clean that beard up. About another hour. I'll clean that up, see what's in it, take it home and pan it out when I've got the time. See you guys. So yeah, I'm going to see what I can find in the rest of these buckets at home. I'll go for a little walk along the creek before I go. Just have a look. I mean, I know this creek. I've prospected it before, so I don't have to sort of search for any good spots. I've seen this place 12 times in the past year. So but yeah, I might have a look. I'll walk these buckets back to the car, come back and get me stuff. Wet cons are always heavy as buggery. So I'm going to get these back to the car before it gets too hot, grab me stuff, go home, sort it out, and sieve it into separate sizes. See you then. We don't make it right there. Hello. Spots like this is a pretty well-known place. Right along this inside bend, you'll notice that there's not a lot of rocks up against the bank. It's because everyone goes through it. There you go. There's evidence of someone working. I have done a little bit of work over in these spots, the crevices. They have a little bit of gold, nothing you would write home about. But it's here. You can scratch all these little crevices out, and you'll find 2 or 3 flakes of gold. And for Melbourne, that's pretty good. for a golden triangle, maybe not. Just a big bit of quartz here. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. No gold. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to pack up and get this stuff home, sieve it out, and see what's in it. So this looks like someone's been working here too. This is all fine tailings. I'll give you a look. I mean, in this creek, you don't get this in this spot. You can see all the rocks here. They're all medium sized. So this is definitely someone's tailings, which is fine. They've left it in the creek. They haven't put it up on the bank. But yeah, I wouldn't bother working here for the next year or two. But there's some good spots along here. Someone's taken out some chunks of dirt there. But all in here, I mean, you've got to give it a look. If you don't give it a look, someone else will, and you'll lose it. So yeah, let's see, that doesn't look quite natural either. I reckon it's come out of that hole. Anyway, get this stuff home. Some more little diggings here. I reckon this might have been old Lukey gold fever reliever. I don't know about that. It's a big pile, but I do recall seeing him on video here. So I'll leave your spot, mate. Some more diggings around here. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I've got to get this stuff home and see what's in it. Yeah, keep laughing, bozo. We'll see who's laughing when I find all that gold at home. You bastards, just laughing at me. Yeah. Now it's time to get sieving. So got some nice stuff here. I've got this commercial kitchen vegetable strainer. Hang on. I got this a while ago. This is one thing I like to do for gold recovery. So this is the stuff I classified on the creek. It's not a lot because I panned some out on the creek, got a little bit of gold. This is the stuff that was basically the overburden. So I'm going to run it through this, and then what I do is I run it through a kitchen sieve, separate that, and then I run it through this tea leaf sieve, because it's very fine. So it's like 100 mesh. And I find the gold recovery is pretty bloody good. Like, I find that I get about another third to half the amount of gold that I originally got. So I'm going to classify this down and see what I get. How do I know I get better gold recovery when I do this? Because when I first started, I would only use a kitchen sieve and then toss the bigger stones and then pan out the kitchen sieve stones. But now that I go through 3 phases of it, I find I get a lot better gold recovery. And I know this because all the other stuff I had left over, which I had in buckets, I went through it again with the 3 different sieves. Like, this stuff was like been in the garage for about a year. Went through it again with the 3 different sieves. Found gold, more gold. So just classify your stuff down and you'll get more gold, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna get cracking on with it and see what we get. Shush. All right, so that's what's left of the this sieve. It's a pretty big. What do you call it? It's a pretty open sieve. So that's what's left of that, and that is what's left. What's separated from it. So, and I'll run that down through a kitchen sieve. And then I'll also run it through a tea leaf sieve, and then I'll pan it out and we'll see how much I've got from each sieve. So I'm not going to bother going through the big stuff today. The likelihood of there being any nuggets is slim to none here in Melbourne. You get some pickers, they may not go through that sieve. Most likely they will. So, but I'll go through it at another stage when I get bored. I just want to see what's in the smaller stuff for now, because that's where most of the gold is. So I'll get back to this in a second. That's my kitchen sieve. So I'm going to sieve that now, and then I'll sieve what's from that into that, and then I'll pan them separately, and we'll see what each sieve gets us. Yeah. Alright, so that's all my oversized kitchen sieve stuff. The stuff that didn't go through. This is the stuff that did go through. Yeah. I'm going to now run that through the tiny sieve, the tea leaf sieve. It does take a little bit. Is it worth it? Not if you're doing this for a living. But I've just gone down for an hour on the creek and decided I want to recover as much gold as I can without using chemicals. So this is the way. It's just like a small scaled down mining operation. It's just sieved and separated, sorted. Like I said, I'll go over this bucket of stuff. I'll pan it out in a couple of weeks. There's probably nothing in it. Every now and then there might be a flake stuck to something. You might get a flake out of it, a little micro here and there. So yeah, now I'm going to sieve this stuff down, and then we'll see what we've got oversized stuff from here, and then I'll start panning it out. I've got a couple of pans here to separate it. Got my little vintage pan here. My mate Trav picked up for me, $10. Yeah, I don't know if it's a Sovereign Hill special or anything, but not bad. Me cheap Kmart plasticky here. It's pretty good. And Big Bertha. Let's get into it. Now all of this could be avoided if I had a sluice, clean up sluice, but I don't. So this is how you do it without one. It's possible. It takes longer. It's part of the gig. I enjoy stuff like this. It's a Sunday afternoon. The sun's out. Guns out. No, they're not really guns. Yeah. Well, it's going to keep doing this and see what we get. Bye bye. All right. So that's the oversized tea leaf strainer, and this is what made it through. So this is the very fine stuff. So that's probably where most of the gold will be. There'll be a little bit in that. There'll be an even less amount in that, but probably bigger bits. And then in that, I'm not expecting anything at all, but I will go through it at a later date. Now the real hard part comes. I've got to work out which one I'm going to pan out first. Doesn't really matter. The fine stuff is going to have the most gold. The second fine stuff that didn't make it through the tea leaf sieve, yeah, have some, and then the bigger stuff, yeah. So I'm just going to start with the finest stuff and see what we get, and then go down from there, and I'll stop in between each one and show you what I got. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but that's my first bit of gold. So just a couple of little teaspoons of Pond's. So I was hoping for more, but one will do. I'll take that. Now I'm going to speed pan it down. So yeah, let's go. So that's the tea leaf size cleaned up. There's just a couple of specks in there. Let me have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 small ones and 3 micros. And when I say small ones, they're not flakes. They're just tiny, not quite micros. So I'll clean them up, and then I'll try and well, won't try. Then I'll pan out the next size and see what's in that, which is this. This is the stuff that came through the tea leaf classifier. So, and this stuff here I usually keep because if I give it one more run, I generally find a little bit more gold in it, but I'll just put it into a big bucket and run it through a cleanup sluice when I've got one. So anyway, onto this one for now. So surprised and a little disappointed. So there's only one little bit of gold there, and there's a little micro. So that's the stuff that didn't make it through the tea leaf. Thought there would have been a little bit more in there, but you know, there wasn't. So now I'm going to try this stuff, which is the kitchen strainer leftovers. So let's see what's in there. Yeah, so that's what came out of the oversized stuff, which was in the dog bowl. I'm going to suck it up and then we'll see what I got all up. Yeah, there you go. So that's everything from the day. I would say about half of that came from what I snuffed up on the creek, and the other half came from, not even the other half, I reckon maybe a third of that came from the buckets that I classified. But that's the thing, like I classified a couple of buckets, brought them home, didn't take much, and it gave me something to do at home instead of standing out in the creek in this 34 degrees. So and it's Melbourne, you don't get a lot of gold in Melbourne. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't. Yeah, anyway, that's it for today. So see you later, guys. Peace out, peace off.